Hey guys, I'm gonna be watching this video here, reacting to this 10 completely false facts everyone still believes. Okay, let's get to it.
You can't be held responsible for spreading false information if you say you heard it from someone else. There are a lot of common understandings that are passed on through the years from
Brought to you
generation to
by Mountain
generation.
Dew,
And with how
Red
connected this
Bull,
generation is, it's
Rockstar,
easier than ever to
Monster,
pass around that
and
information.
PlayStation.
But what if I told you that some of the most believed and understood facts are actually false?
They're all good.
Here are 10 completely false facts that everyone still believes. Number 10 is never wake a sleepwalker. It's a very common belief that you should never wake someone when they're sleepwalking because they could die of fright, or they might end up losing it on you. Hey, Timmy? The idea is that during sleepwalking, a person is in such a deep sleep that waking them suddenly can send them into shock and their heart could stop. But the truth is, there's no evidence for this. It's actually more dangerous when you're doing the walking. The worst that could really happen is that a sleepwalker is just going to be confused when they wake up. In some rare cases, they are so dazed that they could panic and lash out. Sleep researchers say that if you find someone sleepwalking, gently guide them back to their bed. But if they look like they're going to hurt themselves by stumbling around at night, then it's time to wake them, but be wary of a punch coming your way. Realistically, it's not going to happen unless the individual you're waking is Conor McGregor, in which case I say just let him sleep. Number 9 was the forbidden fruit was an apple. In the Bible, the famous story of Adam and Eve states that they were the first two people who ever lived. Their home, of course, was the Garden of Eden, and at its center was the Tree of Knowledge. And in the pond around that tree was the knowledge whale. The story goes that Adam and Eve ate the fruit from the tree, which gave them knowledge of good and evil. Now, whenever someone tells this story or draws a picture of it, the fruit is usually an apple. But the truth is, there's no mention of what the fruit actually is in the Bible itself. Most researchers believe that the error comes from different translations. The Latin words for evil and apple are actually very similar, hence the confusion. Well, I guess no one will ever really know what the fruit was. All we do know is that it was delicious and succulent and... Anyone else hungry? Number 8 is we have 5 senses. It's often stated that human beings only have 5 senses: taste,
Not
smell,
true.
touch, vision, and hearing. But as you
We have
guessed,
thousands.
this is wrong. In reality, we have way more than 5 senses. In fact, we may have as many as 12. These include all kinds of things like a sense of temperature, the sense of time passing, sense of balance, sense of thirst, and many more. The myth of 5 senses can be traced all the way back to ancient Greece. In fact, the philosopher Aristotle have 5 senses
like
2,300 years ago. In more recent times, this myth has been further spread by people referring to alleged psychic powers as the 6th sense. Realistically, if there was such a thing as psychic power, it would be called something like the 21st sense. But then again, that's a terrible name for a movie, and Bruce Willis would not approve. Number 7 is slaves built the pyramids. And this idea is still spread around to this day. But in truth, the people who worked on the pyramids were not slaves at all. They were actually free individuals, everything from craftsmen to professional builders, and were highly regarded for doing an important job, constructing the tombs of the pharaohs. A lot of people assume slaves were involved in the building of the pyramids because it was such a monumental task. It made sense that in a time where slavery was common, the cheapest labor had to be used. We now know that the builders of the pyramids were not slaves at all, and in fact that they were so well regarded that they were buried in their own tombs near the pyramids of the pharaohs themselves. Now that's prime real estate. Number 6 is water makes your fingers wrinkle. It makes other things wrinkle too. Toes I'm referring to. What'd you think? Most people swear that water makes their fingertips prune up. After all, this commonly happens after taking a shower or a bath. It's commonly believed that the water soaks into the skin, causing it to wrinkle. When the skin dries, it becomes smooth again. But the truth is, and this is going to blow your mind, skin is actually waterproof. It's not the water getting into the skin that causes it to wrinkle. Instead, when a person is immersed in water, it's the brain that reacts to it. It increases heart rate and perspiration, which then causes blood vessels in the fingertips to contract. And then presto, you have wrinkly little pruny fingers. It's believed that this happens to give us a better grip in wet conditions, which is pretty handy if you fall in the pool, which I've never done, of course. I've done it once or twice.
Yeah, and it's annoying.
Number 5, are humans evolved from chimpanzees? It's often claimed that human beings evolved directly from chimpanzees, but this is technically incorrect. They may be our closest relatives in the animal kingdom, but chimpanzees didn't evolve into us. If you trace our collective family tree back far enough, you'll find that we share a common ancestor with the chimpanzee. It was an ape-like creature that came way before both species. At some point millions of years ago, this species evolved into 2 separate animals. One went on to become us, and the other split off to become other apes that we see in the world today, including the chimpanzee. So instead of evolving from a chimpanzee, we're kind of like evolutionary siblings. In other words, we evolved alongside each other. That explains why I like bananas so much. I'm kind of hungry now, excuse me. Number 4, our goldfish have a 3-second memory.
Really?
I have a terrible memory. Goldfish forget things after just a few seconds, or at least that's what people think. But it's not actually true. In fact, goldfish have pretty good memories. Definitely better than me. I can't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. They can remember things for at least several weeks, and can even be trained to remember events months after the fact. In 2008, researchers did a little experiment
Okay,
to
guys.
see
In the comments, tell me that this isn't cute. That is so cute. A lot of people say, cats are cute, dogs are cute. Yes, they are. And so is this. I mean, look at that face. Is that little mouth? Its eyes. It looks so friendly. Or it looks like it's seen something it shouldn't have seen. I'm making it look so weird. Oh god, I just realized what that looked like. No. Okay, go on.
good a goldfish's memory is. They would play a specific sound every time they fed a group of goldfish, kind of like a dinner bell. Eventually, the fish were released into a fish farm, and 5 months later, the researchers played the sound again, and the same fish followed it, remembering that it meant that they were going to be fed. This research proves 2 things. 1, that goldfish have complex memories, and 2, that you should never tell your secrets around a goldfish, because it's going to tell somebody. Loose lips sink ships. Number 3 is the Great Wall and space. You've probably heard the claim that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made object that can be seen from space. But it's not true. Other man-made structures are also very visible. In fact, it's often almost impossible to see the Great Wall from space with the naked eye. It's only visible in perfect viewing conditions from a really low orbit of about 100 kilometers above sea level. Most astronauts spend their time in a much higher orbit at the International Space Station, between 330 kilometers and 435 kilometers way up there, and from there the Great Wall can't be seen. But believe it or not, many other man-made structures can. They include the 200 kilometer square Great Almeria Greenhouse in Spain and the Great Bingham Canyon Mine near Salt Lake City. And if the sunlight hits my head, ding, at just the right moment, you can see it from space as well. Number 2, our bats can't see.
Yes, they can.
It's widely believed wisdom that bats can't see. They fly around in the dark, live in caves, and suck people's blood. Oh wait, no, that's vampires. But still, many believe that bats can't see a thing. But the truth is, most bats can see just fine. In fact, many of the 1,300 species of bats have great eyesight and can use it for hunting. The common misconception that bats can't see is because people know that many bat species use echolocation when flying. This means that they produce sounds, and then, depending on how those sounds echo off of nearby objects, they can navigate around them. It's like nature's very own radar. But despite this amazing talent, species like the brown long-eared bat combine their radar skills as well as their eyesight to hunt down flying insects. It also means that they can see crucifixes, which means... Oh wait, no, that's vampires again. Sorry, getting confused. And number 1 is the Earth...
Seriously. I'll skip the commercial, guys.
Okay, many of you are going to be like, what? How's that? No, just hear me out. Most people believe that Earth revolves around the sun. But as crazy as this sounds, that is technically wrong. What the Earth actually does is revolve around the center of our solar system's mass. That means that everything that's in our solar system, the planets, moons, comets, asteroids, and the sun itself, has its own center of gravity. And that's what we orbit around. Now, the reason that people believe that we orbit around the sun is because it kind of looks like that. This is because the sun accounts for 99.87% of our solar system's mass. That means that the center of our solar system is usually very close to the sun itself. But it can be as much as a few 100,000 kilometers away from it. It's kind of like a cosmic optical illusion. Now whenever someone mentions that the Earth orbits the sun, you can laugh smugly and enjoy correcting them. Or don't, it might not make you very popular. Actually, the Earth doesn't revolve around the sun. That's a technicality. See, there's some math and things like that. Okay, you've walked away. Okay. So that was 10 completely false facts that everyone believes, except not anymore, because I've explained it to you. But if you guys enjoyed this, remember to give it a big thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking the little bell beside the subscribe button so that you never miss a thing, because I release new videos all the time. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you when the Earth revolves around the sun next time. Just kidding. Bye-bye.
Okay. Oh, no.
Jump into the weirdness. But before we begin...
Okay, I'll watch this some other time. No! I don't want it on there. Fuck. On there. Okay. Guys, that'd be it for today. Like, subscribe, and subscribe to 8-Bit Guitar Lord. He's a badass in the guitar. Watch his videos. Bye. I gotta go.